Hi everybody, happy Saturday. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about. First of all, most people talk about paying it forward. Well, to pay it forward, you don't have to buy people anything and you don't have to do anything different than you already do. Well, here's a perfect example. I work at a hospital. There was this little girl I didn't know, and she came up and hugged me. And now I could go hug a stranger because of what she did. That is paying it forward too. Just simply giving a stranger a hug. And OMG, that made my entire day. And I saw her 2 more times, and she hugged me each time. That made my day. Oh, and apparently we established Weeple too. We found a common thing that we have in common just by me simply saying, "It's cold outside. I just had hot chocolate." And then she said, "I like hot chocolate too." And I said, "Mine had marshmallows in it. You should go to the store and get some Nestle's." That's what I told her mother. And then the little girl said she liked hot chocolate. So that is how you establish Weeple. It's just by simply telling people about stuff like that. And another thing, if you say you're not going to give up on somebody, don't give up on them. And don't just say it if you mean it. Like, there is a certain somebody, my old trainer, as I said, that said that he wasn't going to give up on me as a trainer. But guess what? He did. So therefore, he just said that just to get money. Or because I was depressed. And yes, he helped me get my self-confidence back too. But still, he broke that promise. So, there's some people that would just say stuff just to say stuff. So, I understand people are busy, but don't make a promise if you don't want to keep it. Don't just say something just to say it, or just because you don't want to hurt that other person's feelings, or just because you want money from them temporarily. So, yeah. And, anyways, so that is that. Oh, and then I got a massage from a guy that's married that I still have a crush on, Mark. Not the Mark that died, but another one at my gym. And OMG, he was so nice. And he actually cared. And we established Weeple too. And I learned a lot about training. Because I kept talking about how I want to be a personal trainer. And he listened and he told me stuff about him. So that was awesome. And he massages good. And yeah, so I learned a lot. So don't forget to listen too. And even if you do care just to make money, make sure you're actually listening to what the person says. Because you never know. If you do good for that person, then the business is, that person's going to come back. But you got to keep doing good to that person and caring about that person. You can't just care about them for like weeks on end and then not have any contact with them. Or not keep learning more about them. So, you have, it's constant when you're in a relationship. Any kind of relationship. Whether it's a massage person or whether it's somebody at your job. Because people are constantly changing. And by the way, if you don't do anything wrong at your job, people wouldn't have to go complain about you. So, yeah, if you do something wrong, not that you should gossip about other people, really, but we all do it because we're not perfect. But if you did what you say you're going to do, then most likely people wouldn't have something to complain about you with. So, yeah. Sometimes people make up stories just because they want the other person to be miserable, or because they are unhappy, so they want to make other people unhappy. But sometimes they complain because they want money. Like, I think that's why, in my opinion, that's why people sue other people, is to, sometimes when they sue them, they just make up stuff just to get money out of them. And sometimes the companies will settle the sue because they don't want other people to know about it, or the news channels. So, yeah, that's my opinion. So, do good and that person will come back. And even if you do bad, that doesn't mean that person won't come back. But eventually, if you keep doing the wrong thing and they don't like it, then they're not going to come back to you. And they're going to go tell other people not to come back to you as a business. So, do what you say and mean what you say. Anyways, and or you might come back like 5-6 months later and see if that person changed or not. And another thing, if your old friends keep trying to come back into your life, but you changed, that doesn't mean you don't care about them. That just means you don't want to be associated with that group anymore. That doesn't mean that you don't pray for them. You pray for them, but you just don't want to be associated with them anymore. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just you don't want to be part of that group because you just don't want to be because you changed. So, yeah. Anyways, something else I wanted to say. I just did a race a week after my marathon, and I jogged it. It was a 5K, 3.1 miles. I finished it in 31 minutes. You know, it'd be awesome, and I hope this happens, and this is my dream. I have many dreams, but this is one of my dreams. It's to get a sponsorship to run. That would be awesome. I gotta look into that more, and I got other people helping me. But if I can have a sponsorship to run, that would be awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait for this afternoon. I'm going to go to Golden Corrals with my co-worker, one of my co-workers, and her boyfriend, because we're going to celebrate me finishing my marathon. That was Saturday. Oops, not Saturday, Sunday. Anyways, and you know another thing I want to do? I want to know how to run. Like, if I'm running properly, and I want to know how to train better to go faster. Because honestly, I have had no training in running. I just started running a year ago. No training. Don't even know if I'm running right, as I said. No running buddy until like a week ago. So I have a running buddy now, possibly. And nobody runs with me. It is all me and God. The Lord. The Lord is with you no matter where you go. The Lord is with you through troubled times. The Lord is the reason I do the things I do. Is because the Lord has gave me the ability to do the things I do. Now, I don't know that much about the Lord. Well, I know a lot about him, but I haven't memorized verses yet. But I am working on that, and the Lord knows that I'm trying. And the Lord knows I'm not perfect. And I know people aren't perfect. And I have got to work on forgiving. A lot. That's what I struggle with, honestly, is forgiving people. And really forgiving them. Anyways, I finished the race, I don't know if I said this, in 31 minutes. And another thing I don't get is why people don't like Jehovah's Witnesses. They gave me a great book, and I've been reading it. It's a great book. I don't understand too much. Oh, and my friend Brittany gave me her old high school book. And it is very interesting. I'm in chapter 3. And I learned a lot too. But you have to keep reading it. Like over and over again. Just like you do the Bible. And another thing. You have to. You don't have to. But you don't. You try. But we still do. Not to get other people's approval. You want God's approval more than anybody else's. And you need to establish your own happiness and your own affirmation. Like, when I write a workout down, and most of the time I finish it, I write on the bottom, Ashley, you are awesome. Ashley, you did it. Ashley, you are amazing. So, that is how you can do affirmation. And another way to pay it forward. Give somebody your clothes. I mean, that's a free thing. Because you already have the clothes. I mean, you had to buy the clothes, but you're not giving them money. Or you're not buying it because you already bought it. So give somebody your clothes, and then they could go, and when they have all the clothes they need, and somebody else is in need of clothes, they could pay it forward by giving somebody else clothes. Or, if somebody is depressed, and you're there for them, and actually are there for them, and mean you're there for them, and don't say something and don't keep your promise, then when they are depressed, then, if they're depressed, and then you help them out, when somebody else is depressed, they will know how to help somebody else that has depression. So that's how you can pay it forward. And you can pay it forward by simply praying. Like if you pray at dinner and somebody else sees you pray at a restaurant, maybe they'll turn around and pray at a restaurant. That is how you pay it forward too. And it doesn't matter if you have a disability. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, blue, or purple, or if you have pimples or not. You can learn something from somebody, and you can pay it forward to somebody else by simply just being you, and by simply asking God to help you. Anyways, here you go. Remember the former things of the old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. No, there's nobody like God. Because God is always there. God has a forgiving heart. God is not evil. And you don't get happiness in this world by focusing on jobs, by focusing on money, or how beautiful you are, or how ugly you are, or how big your house is, or how much things you have. Things break. Things get old to us, and then we try to find something new. Things fall apart. You know what doesn't fall apart? Is the Lord. The Lord never leaves you. The Lord is there. The Lord knows what you're thinking before you are. He knows the plan. Put God first in your life. Don't focus on exercise all the time. Don't focus on yourself. Go outside your little bubble and go help somebody else out. And put the Lord first. Doesn't mean your life is going to be perfect. It just means that you have a friend that you can truly call a friend. Who doesn't break promises. Who doesn't ever stop believing in you. And who is not selfish. That's all I have to say. And I want to thank all the people in my life. And another thing, be grateful for what you have, not what you don't have. Focus on the positive, not the negative. Bye.